So everyone, welcome. Welcome to tonight's webinar. Johan and I are incredibly excited to speak with everyone tonight, to be with you, even though we can't necessarily see you, but you can see us. And we are just delighted to create connection and understanding and provide this opportunity for everyone here tonight. So welcome to Breaking Ground in Punta Cana. And tonight we are talking all about Riviera Bay. So first of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Bordeaux. I am once upon a time from Canada, and I say that because I've spent the last 24 years of my life living here in Cabarete on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. I am a windsurfer. I once upon a time opened and ran a successful massage therapy practice that I turned into an award-winning spa, which I still have. I am the co-organizer of the largest women's water sport event in the Caribbean called the Cabarete Butterfly Effect. And I am now a sales specialist with Realtor DR. And in that same vein, I have purchased my own properties. I purchased one in 2003 and then sold that successfully and purchased a larger home in 2015. So I know all about what it means to come from another country and invest here in the Dominican Republic. And I'm excited to share how easy it is, how safe it is, and how you can do that for you tonight. And we get to introduce my co-host. Johan, feel free, introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. As you can see on the screen over there, this is Johan Ferrier. If you take a quick look at the description over there, I'm a real estate advisor, and I've been working in the real estate world for quite a while right now. Back in the days, I used to be an educator. I used to be part of the Kansas City Royals organization as a lead educator, and something is different now in my life. I'm still an educator, but the difference is that now I'm educating people on how to make a good investment in the Dominican Republic. And I'm going to be here with you throughout the whole process so that this can be a great experience for you. We understand the challenges that comes with, investing in a foreign country. And that's why we're going to be here for you, to give you insights, to give you information, valuable information for you to make a great decision. So as you can see over there, 3 years as a sales executive at Novella Properties. This is one of the most reputable and specialized construction companies in the Dominican Republic. I already own 2 properties here in the Dominican Republic. One of them is Novels, and another one from back in the days. So it's great to be here with you, and I hope this is going to be a great and wonderful night for each one of us. Welcome.
Welcome. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe you do, we hope you do, that we are in the Dominican Republic. And if there's someone here online that doesn't understand or maybe doesn't know a lot about the Dominican Republic, maybe you've been here on vacation, and you had a wonderful time, but you'd like to know more since you're considering investing here. So we want to let you know that, the Dominican Republic is located in the Caribbean. We're right between Cuba and Puerto Rico. And we are 2/3 of the island of Hispaniola, which shares the western third with Haiti. We are the second largest nation in the region, and we are the fastest growing economy in Latin America. We have a population of about 11.27 million people here in the Dominican Republic. And there's probably almost about the same in Haiti. So on our island, which is fairly big for the Canadians, who are around 33 million, we've got just over 22, 23 million here on our island. So it's not tiny, it's a fair size, and it has many, many beautiful things to share. So, such as, we've got, the Dominicans have such a beautiful, vibrant culture, and they are so happy to share it with everyone from all over the world, since tourism here is one of the largest industries on the island. That is clear. There's gorgeous. Tell me.
Why DR?
Why DR? Well, we get weather year round. I wonder how many people, I wish we could see everybody, but how many people are feeling a little chilly these days up in the northern US and up in Canada? I know winter is around the corner, and there you go.
Wilbur, raise a hand. Mike also raising hand. A lot of hands been raised at this moment.
There you go. It's getting cold. It is warm here year round. People always ask me, do you miss the seasons? My answer is no, I don't. And because we're warm all year round, we have an abundance of food on this island, and it is wonderful and lush. We have bananas and pineapples coming out of everywhere. We have amazing beaches, mountains, rivers. The topography and the climate here is very, very diverse. We have some of the largest mountains in all of the Caribbean, with our Pico Duarte coming up at for people in metric, over 3,000 meters, and for feet, just over 10,000 feet. We are an outdoor adventure paradise because it is warm and hospitable all the time. People tend to take to the ocean and enjoy it all year round. We also have affordable healthcare. We have an amazing number of international airports, and we have lots of internationally accredited schools, and it is easy to access from most major cities.
Absolutely.
And so now let's introduce Riviera Bay. It's the whole reason we're here tonight.
Oh,
and
here it comes.
Here it comes. So we're going to get into this. Just to give you a heads up, we are going to take this step by step. Okay, we're going to walk through different parts of the project, and we're going to have a Q&A at the end. So we're going to look at what the project looks like. We're going to talk about a little bit about Noval. We're going to talk about, the finishes. We're going to talk money. We're going to talk numbers. So be patient, stay with us, and we will tell you everything. So we're going to start by introducing Noval, since we're in the theme of introductions here. And so I'm going to let Johan take this one, since he works for the company and is our resident expert.
Thank you very much, Michelle. So as Michelle said, Noval Properties, we are a construction company that's been in the construction market for over 20 plus years. Since 2003, we decided to, build properties in the area of Punta Cana, boosting tourism in the Dominican Republic. After 2016, we decided to turn into developers. That means that we started to create our own developments with our own imagination, creativity, and we also turn into hotel managers. That means that we're experts at assigning a really reputable hotel administration to the property, so that you don't have that headache of having to administer the property when you're not in the country. Okay, so far we have delivered more than 1,000 units.
Wow,
that's great. No problems at up to this point. Noval has never stopped a development, which is really important to mention. In 20 years, everything we have promised, we have delivered. We have happy clients, and soon we're going to be delivering more than 2,500 more units between 2024 and 2026. And as you all might know, if you take a look around the websites and all that, Noval is the largest construction company in the east coast of the Dominican Republic. That includes Punta Cana. So we've been developing the area of Punta Cana for about 20 years, and so far we've been leaders in the construction market. And what else can I say about Noval?
That's done. That's good. And because we're going to move on, and we're going to show them this current plan from Noval, so that they can see how great the company really is and how organized this entire project is. So, we're flowing into the best pace in the Caribbean. So I'm excited to present this tonight, because those of you who do know me know that I'm up in Cabarete on the North Coast, and I've always called the North Coast home, although Punta Cana has always been an exciting space because it is the largest tourism destination, I think, in the Caribbean, and year after year after year breaks tourism records. And it is incredibly beautiful with its white beaches. Again, just telling you how large and abundant this island is. Up on the North Coast, we're more lush, but down in Punta Cana, it's a little bit more arid. It's drier. They even have less rain, which is always ideal when you're a tourist to avoid those rainy days. And it just offers such an incredibly ideal landscape for anyone coming on vacation. And this is a place where dreams get to be born. So we want to get you excited tonight about choosing Riviera Bay, and that you're going to get much more than just an investment property or a vacation home, that you're going to situate yourself in the heart of the world's most vibrant region and gain an incredible lifestyle that's going to be enriched by an incredible amount of amenities that we're excited to share with you tonight.
I'm also excited. Can I make a reservation for myself?
Yes, you can. All right. So this, and you can see behind Johan is he's got his screensaver is the same one. This is one of the beautiful renders of what Riviera Bay is going to look like. And as you can see, we get to be situated on an idyllic golf course. And can you just imagine yourself here when this project is completed in your new apartment? We can.
Imagine that.
So, but we need to know where it is first. So let's move on to some details.
Location, really important before making an
Yes.
investment in your country.
Location, location, location. So here you can see, here's our Riviera Bay. Okay, you can see its proximity to the ocean. Please note, right next to the Hard Rock Casino. Okay, and this is Club Cana Bay on Playa de Arena Gorda. So you are 2 minutes from the Hard Rock. You are 3 minutes to the casino. Okay, and the nightclub. Okay, you are 5 minutes from the Hard Rock Golf Club. So do we have any golfers on here tonight? Put your virtual hand up if you're a golfer.
Here we go. Yeah, as a golfer, and to others. There we go.
Oh, good. We've got golfers on today. That's awesome.
A couple of matches.
We do. Beautiful. Okay. Then you're 10 minutes from the Iberostar Bávaro golf course. Okay. The 11 minutes from the Arena Gorda Beach. Okay. You are only 13 minutes from Punta Cana's medical center. You know, there's something to be said also, you know, about coming to a foreign country, you know, and being safe and feeling safe and knowing that you can be taken care of if, hopefully not, but if something ever happened to you. All right. You are 17 minutes from Cocotal. You are 17 minutes from Macau Beach, which has amazing surfing. Do we have some surfers around here as well?
Okay, raise your hands.
Yep. There we go. We got more hands going up.
More hands going up.
Great. All right. You're 22 minutes from downtown Punta Cana. So Punta Cana is also fairly large. It's an incredible area that has a lot of amazing space with which to develop. Hence why Noval has taken an active role. You've also got the Evolution Adventure Park. There's another Kathmandu Park. So there's so many activities to happen here in Punta Cana, and you are just ideally situated here in Riviera.
There's one thing to add over there, Michelle. I don't know if you know this. Kathmandu Park is the first theme park of the Caribbean, and it's located in Punta Cana. It's already more than 3,000 people a day, and it's expecting to get even more in the future because of the demand of Punta Cana. So that's really important information to mention.
Yeah, and how far is it away from the Punta Cana airport, the project?
We're talking about 35 minutes maximum.
Okay, great. And so for those of you who don't know, in Punta Cana receives, I do believe, is it 54 or 58 countries fly into Punta Cana currently?
Yes, we're talking about, more than 6 to 7 different destinations.
Yes.
Flights, and I mean, Punta Cana's airport represent more than 50% of the tourists that are coming to the Dominican Republic for vacation purposes.
Yeah, Punta Cana is incredible.
Yes. That right there tells you how profitable the place is when it has the busiest airport of the country.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So let's take a look inside now. So now we know where we're located in Punta Cana.
Let's take a look inside there. We want to feel how it is to be inside one of those beautiful apartments. Yeah. And notice and consider the amount of green space that's been taken into consideration also. And yes, it's a render, but Noval plans to deliver on all of its promises, and it does. And so you are going to be nestled in and amongst lakes, golf courses, very close to the beach. Okay. And every corner of this property is going to speak of innovation and comfort. Okay. It's both going to be functional and welcoming. Look at that. So we're going to jump inside right now. There's going to be 110 total apartments. There's going to be the pool and the social area that will be right there in the heart of all the buildings. They're offering 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Yep. There's going to be private parking, 24/7 security. That's just the surface. So we're just scratching the surface there with that very basic description. So we want to take you even further inside. We want to talk about the finishes of the units. So what do these things get to look like? So Johan, Noval will also be
furnishing the units, correct? If you want.
Yes, if you want, you
If
can
you
get
want.
our
Yes.
Cana Bay. That's another department of the
Yeah.
company that will help
Mhm.
you furnish the apartment the way you want it.
Yeah. But all of the finishes, regardless if Noval finishes it or you furnish it, all of the finishes are high quality. The tiles are Italian. Okay, they bought high-end appliances. The appliances are from Germany, correct?
Yes, when you're talking about the finishes in the bathroom, we use Don Ceramic to Revit, which is a German brand.
Okay, and there's a fully integrated air conditioning system, which is wonderful.
Plus the extractor, heater, the electrolyzer ceramic stove, and the oven.
Yeah.
All these are good.
Okay, so coming here, you can get an idea of the space, the modern aesthetic that's happening here in this unit. They're going to be absolutely stunning. The view here, even from the first bedroom, looking out right onto the golf course. I mean, that's priceless. For those of you who love to golf, how amazing would it be to roll out of bed and, wave to the other golfers on the golf course? It's priceless.
So we can also say that
Absolutely.
this is a very distinctive characteristic of Naval. We usually add sliding glass doors in the living room and also in the main bedroom so that owners can have a beautiful view of the outside that is right in front of them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So here's another render of the outside. So let's get into the lifestyle that this property can bring you. All right. So you get access to the Cana Bay Beach Club. All right. With an infinity pool, restaurants, wellness centers. So this is an incredible bonus for being an owner of Riviera Bay, isn't it?
That is correct. You have full access to the beach club, which is considered one of the most beautiful beach clubs in Punta Cana. So you have access to it 24/7 all the time, which is something really ideal when you're buying a property that is that close to the beach.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about some of the other lifestyle opportunities. So golfers are obviously going to absolutely love this property, as well as our tennis players and our pickleballers, because there's paddle courts. They call them paddle, but let's call it pickleball because our pickleballers are hardcore. I know. In addition, you're super close to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, where you're going to have first class entertainment, restaurants, and nightlife. So here we go, our golfers. You get to experience the Hard Rock Golf Club as a resident of Riviera Bay, and a world of privileges await you at this golf course. Johan, tell us a little bit more about the privileges they get.
If we're talking about the golf membership, owners
Yes.
can get a 50% discount if they want to have access to a membership of a year. This is something that you can get in Cana Bay unless you're an owner of a property there, especially when you're talking about Noval's developments. That is 50%. You also get extra discounts when it comes to accessing the tennis courts. And also you're free to go to the casino of the Hard Rock and the nightclub at any time you want, which is really important to mention.
Awesome. So anyone who wants to not only own a vacation property, but who wants to visit it and take advantage of the active lifestyle that is just sitting there right outside your front door, this is an ideal opportunity for that, isn't it?
Perfect property for those who are looking to have a combination of these two worlds. Okay,
Yeah.
I will use my apartment and have a beautiful place around it, different amenities to enjoy. And also when I'm not using it, I want to rent it and I want to make sure that the person that is there is having a great time because of having access to so many wonderful amenities, such as a golf course, tennis course, a beach club, one of the most beautiful beaches in Bangor, and many, many other things more.
Awesome. So again, we'll talk about that nightlife a little bit more. So obviously everyone here knows of the Hard Rock name and how successful a franchise it is. And that it also here, it's probably one of the top destinations for concerts and shows that they attract and put on inside of the Hard Rock.
What about that?
Yes. So you won't be bored. This is a view of one of the beautiful rooftop terraces, which comes with they're up on the top floor, obviously, but with the 3 bedrooms.
It doesn't have to be 3 bedrooms. There are also 2-bedroom units that would have this nice characteristic of a jacuzzi, barbecue, and another bedroom on top, which is great. This is for
All right.
the 5th floor. Okay, that includes 2-bedroom units and 3-bedroom units. Okay.
2 and 3 bedroom units.
Correct.
All right. So by investing here, you are not only acquiring a property, but you are ensuring a future of comforts and luxury and unique experiences. Now, I pulled this quote from Franklin Roosevelt. It says, real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense, paid for in full, and managed with reasonable care, it is about the safest investment in the world. In the world. So I want everyone to just sort of take a breath right now and think about it. How many here on this webinar already own a home or own a property for that matter? Let's throw up your digital hands.
Michelle and 6 others, 7,
Yeah.
9 and
Okay.
10, up 12. So we
Yep.
get 15.
So many of you. Okay, so you all understand what owning that property has given to you. The amount of financial confidence that comes with owning property. I know for me personally that owning a property has been the best financial decision that I have ever made in my entire life. In my entire life. And I'm betting that most of you feel that way as well. And the most wonderful thing, as we shift from, looking at some renders and getting excited about the project, we want to shift now into the investment piece. And, as much as we're going to get analytical and be in our heads with numbers, I want you to take a deep breath also and drop into your heart for a second, because this is a decision that gets to be made wholly and completely by you. And know that Novell has considered all of the things that you would need as a foreign investor to make this decision easily and with confidence. So at any point in time, as we move through here, I want you to maybe jot down some notes, or don't worry, we'll send you all of this later, but to think about some questions that you might want to ask in the end so that you can create all of the knowledge that you're going to need in order to move forward with an informed decision. Okay. And just carry that with you as we walk through the rest of it about how an investment can change your life completely.
Absolutely. It's something that's amazing. Something to add to that before we get into that part.
Yeah.
You got to see an investment through a property, not just as if we're buying just an apartment. We got to see it from this perspective. I am changing my life for the better through buying a property.
Yeah.
So much, a lot of benefits are going to come to me and my family members if I decide to invest over here. For example, we all know that once you invest in a cell phone, price goes down in about a week or a day. If you're talking about a car, price goes down in a week or the moment you get it out of the garage. But when you're talking about properties, real estate, the tendency is that the price will always go up. You will never have the opportunity that you're having right now in the future. You might have other opportunities, but the price that you're having right now, the pre-sale price, this is the only chance to have it, because maybe in the future is going to be more and more and more expensive. And if you make a decision now, of course, being sure about what you're doing, you're going to feel happy about the decision feel good about the decision for the rest of your life, which is something that we truly want you to do.
Absolutely. And it's far, it's far more profound, to jump into vacation ownership, than say, investing in an index fund. Both are great. But we hope that you can see that that doing something like this and investing in the Dominican Republic is just as safe. It is just as safe. So this is a quick drone's eye view of what the building layout would look like. So we want you to see this from as many different aspects as you possibly can. So you can see here, with this being our swimming pool here in the center, that we've got the apartments of A block, then B, C, and then finally D. So they're all going to be unique spaces, and we'll give you a little view of what some of those units will look like. So we're going to move here. Okay, this is unit T02. It's in block A. So if you remember, if we go back here, okay, so we're block A. And this unit, for those of us in metric, is 62.26 square meters, or it's 670 square feet for our imperial friends. All right, with a 5-meter terrace square meter or 54 square meter terrace in square feet. All right, bringing us to a total of almost 76 square meters or 817 square feet. So what a great size unit we have here.
Great
This
size.
is
Considering
not
that,
a,
well, you can have sometimes in some developments. So here you can have 3-bedroom units of 80 square meters.
yes, like this is an incredible size for a 1-bedroom unit. Like it's truly, it is truly amazing. And the layout here seems incredibly comfortable. All right, I can see that, you know, we have our entrance here right into our living and dining area. There's plenty of space in this lovely kitchen. There's our terrace and our bedroom, closet with bathroom.
You have your bedroom completely separated from the living room, giving you privacy, which is, you know, it's a must.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming here, now we're going to have a quick look at one of our 2-bedroom units. So this is going to be in block B. So you can see that over here. Okay, there's our block B. We're looking at a total of 120 square meters or almost 1,300 square feet in a 2-bedroom apartment. I think that you could fit probably like 2 or 3 of these in a New York City apartment, couldn't we? Like, I mean, 2 or 3 New York City apartments in one of these, pardon me. Flip that.
And possibly twice or 3 times more expensive.
Oh my goodness, yes, of course. So here we can see an amazing layout, obviously with 1 bedroom being primary to the other one, but still both sufficiently spacious and each with their own bathroom. Yeah. So moving on, here's our 3-bedroom unit. We're looking at almost 138 square meters or almost 1,500 square feet. Again, an incredibly a sizable, very sizable unit that would be absolutely comfortable. This, you know, you can fit your entire family on vacation and everyone's got enough space to, you know, to have some time alone on vacation, even though we're all in the same unit.
That's true.
Yeah.
But your families.
Okay, so here again is another view of it. We've got block A, B, C, and D. Just calling your attention to this as when we shift from visual to Excel sheet numbers so that you have an idea of where some of these different units are. All right, again, here is a beautiful visual at dusk. And just again, just imagine what it could be like walking in to your new home in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. So let's learn about how we move forward. So if you choose to move forward, there are several options with which to pay for. So you don't need to pay for all of it upfront, obviously, as this is a pre-construction project. And they've got these 3 are your setup. So you can either pay early, which is putting the bulk of it down as the initial payment and just paying the final 10% when you get your keys. You can jump into the early payment of 50%, where you pay 30% during the course of construction and 20% upon occupancy. And then there's the standard, which you put 20% down. Okay, and Johan's going to walk you through the actual numbers of what that looks like at the promise of sale. And you pay 60% of it off through the course of the construction, and then your final payment being another 20% upon delivery. So now, Johan, tell us about just about the timelines of the project. So when are we looking at starting and when are we looking at finishing, so they have an idea of what that construction timeline would look like, so that how the payments would be spread out.
Of course, it's going to be a pleasure for me to do that. Before I get into that, there's something really interesting to mention about this early or prompt payments. By paying 90% in 30 days, just like you see in the slide, you can get up to 6% discount in the unit. Okay, so that means you have to pay nothing during the construction process. Your price is going to go down 6% and just 10% at the end on completion. Then the same thing happens with the 50% prompt payment. Then you receive a 3% discount. You only pay 30% during the construction, and then at the end on completion, you get to pay the rest. Now, this is the standard payment plan for people who would not like to pay all that much during, within the 30 days, which is the time allowed for the down payment. In the standard payment plan, we get to pay 20% in 30 days, and then the rest you're going to be making comfortable payments throughout the construction process. And this one, the standard payment plan, that represents 60% of the value of the property. Really important to mention is that during the construction process, the price of the apartment is not going to be changed. Once you sign the promise to sell, you will always have the same price until you are delivered your apartment. It's not that inflation went up or the materials price goes up. Now you're going to be responsible for an augmentation of 25% or 30%. That's not going to happen. So you can feel good and comfortable about that. Okay. Now, as Michelle said, the beginning of the construction process is going to be next year, June 2024. So the delivery date is going to be in June 2026. So after paying the 20% in 30 days, you're going to have almost 2 years to pay this 60% during the construction process, and you get to choose how more comfortable it is for you, either monthly payments or every 2-month payments, quarterly payments, or even every 4-month payments. It all depends on how you feel more comfortable. And as I said, once again, no interest, no changing in the price. You're going to pay, let's say you pay $2,000 a month. You're going to pay that until the time of completion, which is June 2026.
Wow, that's fantastic. You know, most pre-construction properties don't offer that at all. You know, there are very
construction process.
Yeah, you know, like the amount of flexibility that Noval is able to offer, you know, interested clients is really, it's outstanding.
And we haven't even mentioned some incentives.
Oh, I know that's coming. Dun, dun, dun. So that means you don't go anywhere. All right. So we're going to get into the numbers. So for all of my beautiful analyzers here, Johan's going to walk you through this because this is his area of expertise, and he's going to take you through. This is just an example of one unit. So we've chosen one unit and we've broken down all the numbers because you need to understand, you know, the value of your property, what your monthly payments are, and what potential profitability looks like when you step into this investment.
Thank you. Well, as Michelle said, we're going to start with this specific unit, which is the property of $469,000. Okay. If you want to know more about some other specific units and their numbers, we can share that with you at any time after the webinar. But let's just take this one as an example. Okay. This could be a 3-bedroom unit, rooftop terrace, jacuzzi and all that. Okay. So this one has a garden view. This one has the, you know, a view of the swimming pool and possibly, you know, a great part of the golf course. Okay. If you take a look at the size of the unit, it's 148 meters. We always try to use really conservative numbers. We use the, like, we could say the worst case scenario. Let's see a minimum occupancy rate in Cana Bay or Punta Cana, which is 55%. Okay. It is going to be way higher than that, considering that Punta Cana is a highly demanded tourist destination. But if we keep it conservative, it's way, way better. That way, whenever you get to have more than that, which is reality in most of the cases, you get to feel happy instead of, you know, disappointed. So let's say that we get an average of peak season, medium, intermediate season, and low season, and we get an average of $270 per night. Okay. The annual rate growth of this unit is going to be 2% every single year. Okay. Every single year during the construction process, and, you know, the next other 8 years to come, we're talking about 10 years in total. You're going to be sure that the value of the property at its minimum is going to be 2% and 2% and 2% every single year, plus how much money you're making through the hotel administration rental pool program, which is another thing to mention. Besides those benefits, we got to say that you have a property that's going to be exempt from taxes, no transfer tax for 15 years, and no IPI tax, which is 1% of the value of the property that exceeds $168,000. That is, you are exempt from that tax for 15 years, and the transfer tax, you don't even have to worry about that. Okay, since this is a tourist destination, and you usually give the definite receive the definite resolution of conflictor. Okay, so those are some other benefits that you're getting from the government of the Dominican Republic. Now imagine we're talking about some of the most reputable hotel administrations that will be taking care of the property. They will give you 70% of the whole profit. Okay, with 30%, they will take care of everything, cleaning their apartment, getting it ready for your clients, getting it ready for you. getting your apartment or your property into their websites, getting clients through tour operators, and making sure that they get this occupancy that you're seeing there, 55%. Because in simple words, if they don't rent the apartment, they don't make money for them, they don't make money for you. And that's our top
Exactly.
priority.
And Johan, let me interrupt you for 1 second here.
Sure.
I'd love a hands up, another hands up session. How many people here either own or operate their own rental property already? Is there anybody out here who's a property manager or who has their own units? Yes. So now I know every single one of you people knows the amount of work that goes into managing a property. Well, I mean, everybody here knows that who has their own property, what goes into managing a property. So imagine owning one and never having to do any of the work. Nothing. You don't have to clean anything. You don't have to repair anything. It will all be taken care of for you. So just like I want everyone to grasp the enormity of what is in that offer for property management. And it's fantastic.
Yes.
Especially as I sit about thinking about how I have to clean my pool this
The
week.
only thing you got to be paying attention to is the transfer of the hotel administration to your bank account whenever you're making money. That's great, man. And as you said, at some point in your life, you got to understand that you need time. Okay, time is really important, and having an expert administering your property gives you that precious gift of life, which is time to do other things, to invest in other properties or do other businesses, which is crucial and ideas time passes by. Okay,
Yeah.
So if we continue to take a look at this numbers over here, the homeowners fees, or HOAs as we call them, is just $2 per square meters. Okay, nothing more. If we're talking about insurance, this is the insurance property that you get, the property insurance that you get whenever your apartment is ready. Okay, if you're investing this amount of money, it is a great idea that you secure your home by having a property insurance, a really good one. If we're talking about 1500s, that's a really good property insurance. Okay,
Absolutely.
Now Cana Bay maintenance, just keep in mind, these are yearly expenses. This is not monthly expenses. Okay, so you got to divide that into 12 months. Okay, Cana Bay maintenance is $1,200, which is around $96 per month. The good thing is that you get to pay the homeowner's fee, okay, and also the Cana Bay maintenance fee by just one night of rent. If you take a closer look at the nightly rate, which is $200, $270. Okay, so that's pretty good. So electricity in Punta Cana, it's around $2,400. Okay, these are general numbers every year. Now, if we're talking about net profit for 10 years, we're talking about $355,020 more. Okay. Yeah. Of a property that was worth $469,000. Okay, the average gross income in a year is $64,382. That is a return of investment of 7.57%. To make a point of, to have a point of comparison, Michelle, I think you already know this too. If we're talking about financial certificates in the Dominican Republic, fighting a really good fight, you might get to have 3.5% or 4% interest rate. Okay. Yeah. And that's really low compared to investing in real estate. You get to have a property that you can use. You're securing your heritage. You're also securing your money, the value of your money, because it's really important to understand that the value of your money can increase or decrease depending on what you're doing with it. Okay.
Absolutely. Those are amazing numbers. So let's go to the breakdown now. So when we get into estimated profitability, this is a, a little bit more specific moving into the different years, but I want you to see here, how, things are going up year on year as you come into your 10th year, and let's look at, your annual ROI continuing to increase as you go, looking at that annual ROI number going from 6.25 to 9% in a decade.
So over here, you can see, it's better because you have everything broken down. If you take a look at the net monthly profit, which is something we mentioned in a year in the previous slide.
Yeah.
We're talking about a property that is making $2,441 every single month. And you
nets. That's
don't have to
wonderful.
administer it. That's the greatest part of it. It gets into your bank account and you just have to wait for it. Every single month you're going to have that with just, let's be clear about this, 55%. We're not talking about 85% or 90% occupancy rate, which is something that properties usually get in Punta Cana
Yes.
during peak seasons, okay?
Yeah. So those numbers could definitely be a lot higher. So now this here, what I'm going to show you before you, if some of you zone out, is the availability, okay, and the pricing. So if you have had your interest peaked, okay, don't worry. Again, you're going to get all this information, so you don't, no one has to freak out and screenshot everything right now. But you can see here that there's already been a number of units reserved. This is our A block and then half of our B block. Okay, you can see there's still units at 187,000 that are available. That 1-bedroom entry level price point is incredible, especially remember for that size of that 1-bedroom. All right, we've also got, and you want to tell us, when you guys released the project, how many reservations did you end up taking that first couple of hours?
The
I think
first
after
20 reservations in 20 minutes.
20 reservations in 20 minutes.
20
And I'm
minutes, 20
guessing
reservations.
most of those came from people who have invested with you previously, who are so hyper aware of the benefits that are available to them upon this investment that it was an absolute no-brainer.
Whenever they got to know that we were about to release a new development, there were people who were even sending the reservation fee without even seeing the renders and said, if Novell is coming into Cana Bay, I just want one. That's it. You just choose one.
And so the reason I wanted to share this with you is I want you to notice, you know, the different amounts of pricing, okay? The different square meters that are available. So it's obviously, it's not all cookie cutter. There's a lot of differences in some of the units, which is great. So you've got an amazing array of options to choose from. You can see the differences here in your square meterage, and that there are still many in various different sizes and price points available for purchase. Okay, here you go. And here are some of our units that have a jacuzzi. So these ones would be up on the, are they the ones with the rooftop?
That is correct, on the 5th floor.
Okay, and there's already a couple of them that have already been reserved. So obviously that's popular. Now, hello. We get to make it even sweeter. Yes, but wait, there's more. So we have some incredible incentives to share with you. And Johan and I have been so excited to get to this part.
Oh, yeah.
So with no further ado, dun, 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 this is what we have to offer you tonight. So I'll read out the general, and then I'm going to have Johan go through each of them in specificity. So for the next like 10 days, you can reserve with only $3,000. Most of you have that space on your credit cards. All right. You have
It's
the
important
option.
to mention that the normal reservation fee is $5,000.
$5,000, and you can get in now with only $3,000. All right, to reserve the unit that you choose, you know, while they're still available, you have the option to create a 20, 40, 40 payment plan. So that's 20% down, paying 40% over the time of construction, and then with another 40. So, and Johan can walk you through the difference that makes per month.
Oh, yes, you got to see the difference between one and the other, so you can see how great it is to have a flexible payment plan instead of a standard payment plan.
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, and then they're offering a fly and buy within 90 days. Do you want to go through that one?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Flying by. Let's say you make a reservation, okay? We give you 90 days to come down to the tropical paradise of the Dominican Republic, so you can get to see the site where your beautiful property is going to be built. We can take you on a tour. We can get you to the golf course. We can take you around Punta Cana so that you can get to know the different amenities that you're going to be enjoying if you're part of Punta Cana or Cana Bay community. So what's going to happen? As long as you go ahead with, buying the property fully committed, what we're going to do is within 90 days, if you show evidence of your flight ticket and your expenses, we're going to give you a credit that is going to go up to $2,000 in your payment plan. And that can be accredited to you so that you can reduce your 20% Or let's say you come after the 30 days and you've already paid your 20% and signed a promise to sell. We can also give you this $2,000 credit in 60 days or 90 days, and we can apply it to one of your monthly payments if that's what you want. As long as it is within 90 days, we can give you that incentive. And another thing, let's say you have a problem with coming within 90 days, we can get an authorization for you so that we can extend that a little bit more. And you can come, past 90 days, which is, a surprise, surprise.
And then this is definitely special and specific to this webinar, is that we have come up with a $1,000 signing bonus upon when you sign your promise of sale and you've completed your 20% down payment. This is available to those of you on this webinar only.
Yes,
Right.
we gotta emphasize on that.
Yeah.
Members of this webinar, you have 10 days to take advantage of these great opportunities that were given to you at this moment. And Michelle, why don't we just kind of explain a little bit on, the difference between the standard payment plan and the flexible payment plan so that they can get to understand the great benefit of having this payment plan.
Yeah, please do. Now, I don't think I've got that particular slide up. If Johan, if you want to grab that one. We are going to get into the Q&A in a moment, but I do want Johan to explain the difference, because it is an incredible difference, and it does make. I do believe you've got screen share, so let me stop sharing mine and you go ahead.
There we go. So let's see. There we go. I already have it. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get into this spreadsheet over here. We're going to walk through it real quickly so that you can see the difference between one payment plan and the other. It's really good that you can see the difference. So imagine we're talking about this $187,000 unit. Okay. And let's say you make a reservation on the 15th of December. Okay. So delivery date is 2026, June. So here you get to select how you want to make your payments throughout the construction process. Let's just say it's monthly, okay, to have an example. You got 30 days to complete the down payment. And according to the delivery date, you can get 25 equal payments during the construction process. So imagine we're talking about this standard payment plan with no discounts and having to pay a $5,000 reservation fee. Your 20% is $32,400. After this is you have, let's say, till January 14th to make this payment. You can either start in February, or you can postpone that first payment during the construction process a little bit more, maybe 3 more months. You can have a break and continue with your monthly payments during the construction process. Now, if you are making a reservation outside or past this webinar, you need to pay $5,000 reservation fee. That's the first thing. And the most flexible payment plan is the 60% during construction process payment plan. Now, if you take advantage of this great opportunity that Michelle and I are talking to you about, first, you get to have your, sorry, wow, I was about to give them a 2,000% discount. Get it for free with Naval and
you'd be paying them.
So first, oh my God, this is a percentage. Okay, here. Reservation, $3,000. Okay. So instead of 187, let's say it's 185. Price goes down $2,000. So your down payment is just $34,000. Now, instead of paying $4,440 every month, if you take advantage of the opportunity that we're having for you tonight, this number is going to go down to $2,960.
Everyone just see that down in the payment section here. So it went from over $4,000 down to just under $3,000 a month, which is huge.
And you know what's special about that, Michelle?
Yes, tell me.
You're 2 years from now, you're going to receive a property that you still owe 40% of the value to. Okay, so you can finance that amount through any bank in the Dominican Republic, and even better, if you want to resell it because there's a higher price in the market, you can also do that, and you're reselling a property that you still owe 40%, which is ideal for investors. Okay, so that's the great difference between this flexible payment plan and the 60% during construction payment plan.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, I think we've got several people who have got some questions ready to go. So why don't we get straight into it? So we're going to start with Marcos has a couple of questions. So everyone, feel free. There's a Q&A section to pop in your questions that you have there, and we're going to just take care of them one by one, as well as I have something to share with everyone. I'm dropping a link in here. Now, this link, feel free to click on it. It is going to take you, okay, to my website where you get to just enter your name and your email, and you're going to get access to the document that you would need to fill out in order to begin the reservation process. Now, filling out the document and sending it back to us does not mean you're fully committed yet. But what it does mean is that you're committed to knowing more, and you are committed to wanting to perhaps jump on a call with one of us or both of us or the Noval team and finding out more information. It also guarantees us that you've been on the webinar and you will have access to these incredible bonuses that we've created for you tonight for the next 10 days. So I want to encourage everyone to grab this opt-in, okay? When you get to the document, you get to download it, fill it out, okay? And then you're going to send it back. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're also going to be receiving an email tomorrow, if you don't grab the link right now, with the same document and instructions on how to fill it out and send it back in. All right. Yep, I dropped it right here in the chat. Can you see it in the chat?
It's in the chat.
Yep.
You can share by posted with the panelists.
All right, so let's get to our questions. And if anyone has any questions on that document, you can let us know. It's a very simple document. Basically, it's your information and what unit you could be interested in. All right, it's your first step, and it's your first step to getting more information. So I highly encourage you to just go and grab it. You don't need to send any money with it. It's just the document. All right,
No,
so let's get into it. Marcos
has the first question.
He does. Okay, so he wants us to yeah, he wants us to explain a little bit more about Confiture and about the benefits and how it works, things like that. So Confiture is an incredible incentive created by the Dominican Republic to encourage foreign investment. If there is a country out there that absolutely loves foreign investment and does everything they can to encourage it, it is the Dominican Republic. And so this break allows you to not pay the 3% title transfer tax, and it gets you the 1% off of your yearly, your 1%, property taxes that you have to pay every year. You don't have to pay those for up to, I believe, is it 15 years, Johan?
15 years, yes.
15 years. And you also get a break on any of the money that you will be making on your unit. You will not be, I believe it's up to 20% off any of that income, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. You can save up to 20% of the next taxable income.
Yeah. Okay. So it's an incredible incentive program. It's very easy, and it's already been set up for you. So just so you know as well, this is something that the development company must go to the trouble of acquiring on behalf of their clients and on behalf of the project. And Noval does the hard work so that every single one of you can benefit.
Yes. And something to add over there before we forget about it. By owning a property in the Dominican Republic and you're, paying it, you're, getting committed to it, you also open the doors to having a residence, Dominican residence for, a foreign investor, which is really good. So you can stay in the country longer than 6 months and, you can get your Dominican ID and all that as a foreign investor.
Yes. All right. So next question is also from Marcos. And his question is this project managed through an independent third-party financial institution? So Johan, you might know the answer to that.
We don't need to have a third-party financial institution to go ahead with the developments. At this point, we're going through the construction process of more than 14 different developments. As I said to you, the company has positioned itself extremely well in the market, and we've been on the market for 20 plus years. Last year, we made around $399 million in sales. So we're trying to reach $1 billion in the next 2 or 3 years in sales. And so far, we have positioned ourselves in a really stable and powerful economical situation. So you can understand a little bit more of it. This is pre-sale prices, right? It is
Yes.
commonplace that Novell gets to sell out their developments before construction process starts. The development is either sold out or 95% sold out. So besides the financial, power that the company has to carry out developments, we also have plenty of money coming through reservations and 20% down payments before construction starts so that we can go ahead with the developments. And up until now, we've never had any economical issues to continue with the development, nor have we stopped a development. It has never happened in 20 years. I don't know if that answers Marcus's question.
Hopefully. All right. Okay. So then we'll move on to Quentin. So Quentin's question is, how much is insurance on property in the Dominican Republic? And I know that you gave an estimate there, but it's usually between $1,000 and $2,000, depending on the size of property. Is that correct in your experience?
That is correct. And when we're talking about $2,000, that is a
That's
really,
for,
really, yes,
yeah.
it's not going to give you 100% full insurance, with this.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so next question, Mike wants to know, so can you please give us more information about the amenities available in the Cana Bay Beach Club?
Absolutely.
It's a fun one.
Well, I think it's Cana Bay's amenities in general. The first one, as an owner of an apartment in Cana Bay, you have access to this beautiful beach club. Maybe later on we can share some pictures of it. And if you decide to have a personalized Zoom meeting, or if you want to have more information in your email, we can send that. Okay, that's the first thing. You have access to this beach club at any time, okay? And you can eat their delicious food. Dominican seasoning is just amazing, okay? So besides the beach club, you can have access to the golf course, the paddle course, the tennis course. You can walk around freely because this is a gated community. You're safe in there. And besides having access to these three amenities, you also have access to the Hard Rocks Casino and the Hard Rocks nightclub. Okay, so at any time, these are some of the amenities that you can enjoy, by simply being a member of, Cana Bay's community.
Okay, great. So Michelle's on here, and she, again, so we'll go through the Confiture benefits one more time for the buyer, which is you get, so normally if you were to purchase a property anywhere in the Dominican Republic, when you transfer the title into your name, you would be required to pay 3%, all right, 3% of the price of that home to the government just to transfer the title to your name. And you would end up having to pay 1% of any of the value of the property. I do believe it's over $175,000 now. Yep. And that is another benefit that you get. So you do not pay the 3% transfer tax. You do not pay the 1% EP, which is the property tax over $175,000 on your property for up to 15 years. All right.
Okay.
Those are the two biggest benefits to the Confiture.
So right off the bat, when you're renting your apartment, you're making net incomes.
Yeah.
Besides the fact of, not paying any, taxes right off the bat, every penny that gets into your account, it's net, because you're not buying a property that might be ready, that is, at a higher price. One bought it for a lower price in the past, and now you have to pay for that higher price. No, you're going to be the one making money with your property. And that's really important to mention. In the Dominican Republic, as Michelle said, if you have a property, you got to pay 3% transfer tax and 1% right off the bat. Since this is considered a touristic development, you get to have an exemption for each one of those taxes.
Yeah, it's an incredible benefit. Absolutely incredible. So let's see, do we have any other?
I think some people were having issues with seeing the link you shared.
Yeah, I shared it again, and I think it worked the second time. So do we have any other questions out there? You can either drop them in the chat or in the Q&A, because I've got both of them open. Now, for those of you who are ready to know more, okay, and who are interested in all of the benefits that we've offered, a conversation that goes deeper costs us nothing. All right, and can give you everything that you need to move forward having a totally and completely informed decision, which is what we want for all of you on here tonight who are really truly interested in jumping into this investment. So, you know, filling out that form, and I see there's a couple of people who have already filled out the form, so that's great. And I'm excited about that. I'm seeing them come in on my phone. Do send in the forms. You know, really the form, what it says is it says, I'm putting up my hand. I'm interested to know more. And I really want to sit down and talk about me specifically inside of this investment and what that gets to look like. You know, we do our best on webinars, right? To give everybody a really generalized view. And if you're interested at all, grab that form, fill it out, and we will be reaching out to you in order just to set up another call so that we can have a deeper conversation. And if this is right for you, you get to take advantage of all of the incredible bonuses that we got thrown in here tonight. It's like Christmas. Christmas has come early, hasn't it?
Early. Yes.
Yes, it totally has. So let's see. Okay. So if there's no further questions from anyone, so Johan, I think you and I did a really good job then explaining everything. So that's great.
You've been wonderful, I have to say.
It has been so much fun. Johan and I have spent a few hours together today putting this together for you.
Oh, yes.
And it's been a delight. And yeah, and you know, we just can't wait to share this excitement about this project and our love of the Dominican Republic with you. So do again, fill out the form. Let's have another conversation and let's see what gets to happen. Let's see what kind of Christmas present you're going to gift yourself and your family this year.
Give yourself the chance to be part of this amazing community of investors in the Dominican Republic. And I think on my end, I'm going to finish with this quote, which is something I truly use, you know, every single day of my life. We got to be willing to make sacrifices that not many people are willing to make now, so that we can have a life in the future that not many people can get to live. So think about that. Big decisions will bring big changes in your life. I know sometimes they can be tough, but that's what, you know, becoming great is all about, making big decisions that will change your life hugely.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for being here.
I have goosebumps. That's great. Thank you so much. Lisa, you just said that you've missed a little bit. Don't worry, Lisa. We will be sending you everything. So everyone, look out in your inbox. Tomorrow, we will be sending you the replay. We will be sending you access to this form if you did not yet grab it from the chat. All right. And we will be sending you, again, more of the information so you can take your time, go through it slowly if that works better for you. And then so you can submit that document so we can have a conversation. All right. Everyone, have a beautiful, wonderful Tuesday evening. We look forward to spending more time with some of you. And Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for your time. And we hope to see you really, really soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right. Good night.